Coming up, with COVID cases dropping, should the mask mandate at schools remain?
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. An Eastern Kentucky Halloween tradition is back in full force. WYMT's Corey Sanning shows us what they are doing at Pumpkin Park in London to show families a gourd time.
Sounds of laughter and joy.
It feels great to see our citizens out and enjoying something that a lot of people put some time and effort into, and the team came together like they always do. Chris Robinson and tourism, and just knocked it out of the park, if you will.
As families flocked to Main Street in London on Monday to enjoy some fun at Pumpkin Park.
It's a beautiful thing they put together, and it's a nice way to get out in the fresh air and get away from the negative of this whole year.
Allowing them to spend time together and focus on the upcoming holiday.
Well, the weather's beautiful, and they're ready for Halloween, they're ready for the fun. And this is a great place and a great way to do it.
London City Councilman Daniel Carmack is a new father himself, something that has changed his mindset towards Halloween completely.
It puts a whole new perspective to things, knowing that we have something right here in our own backyard. We don't have to drive to another city or another town.
Encouraging other families to come join in on the fun.
If you've already been there in last year, or maybe you've been there during the day, you need to come back this year. Don't miss it, because it's something you don't want to miss.
With spooky sights and memorable nights. In London, Corey Sanning, WYMT Mountain News.
Carmack says the park will remain orange themed through the month of October. Well, we're coming off a big weekend for UK athletics. Rupp Arena hosted Big Blue Madness for the start of basketball season. Masks were required to go in the arena and during the game, but it didn't look like many fans followed that university policy. We talked to officials at UK Athletics, and they hope more fans will mask up for future games because this will be the policy all season. Today, our region has 7 counties in the orange zone and 1 county in yellow. Everyone else is still red when it comes to the COVID incidence map. Governor Beshear announced 678 new cases of COVID today, increasing the statewide total to 727,125. There were 31 new deaths, bringing the death toll to 9,396. The positivity rate continues to decrease. It's now around 7.4%. You can always find the latest COVID information on our website at WYMT.com. Toyota could be bringing a new battery plant to Kentucky. The location is still to be determined. The factory is a $1.29 billion project and will manufacture batteries for electric and hybrid vehicles. It's expected to employ nearly 2,000 people and start making batteries in 2025. The factory would gradually expand through 2031. Toyota plans to invest another $2.1 billion in electric technology in the next decade. You might notice more for-hire signs at businesses across our region as employees are having a hard time finding workers. Alan Woodson with Magic Monograms in Somerset says he had 5 interviews scheduled and all applicants were no-shows. He turned to posting job openings on his personal Facebook page in hopes it would get more views, and it has nearly 300 shares. He also adds, on top of this, he's seeing supply chain issues.
It's pretty brutal to get product, to get t-shirts, to get polos, certain brands, bags, pretty much anything that our consumers demand, our corporate clients demand.
Woodson says other local business owners he talks to are also facing the same issues when it comes to finding workers and supply chain problems. Many in Eastern Kentucky are still waiting for those vibrant fall colors. Right now, there's still a lot of green. Environmental experts say this is caused by this year's late spring, wet weather, and hotter climate. Letcher County tourism officials say they try to keep folks updated on how things are looking.
Kentucky weather, everybody knows. Some years it's hot, some years it's cold. A few years ago, it was like 70 degrees in Christmas time. So we never know what it's going to be or what it's going to do. So we like to kind of, let people know what's going on so they don't drive really far to see something and waste their time.
To see what else experts are saying about the fall foliage this year, you can go to our website.
I think we're going to see some encouraging signs in the fall foliage heading forward over the next few days because those temperatures back near average for this time of year, and that means at night it's going to get chilly. Out there right now, I-64 camera time lapse from Moorhead. It was a nice sunset out there and a calm evening on the interstate, taking you to I-75 at Mount Vernon at this hour. Things looking A-OK. No big fog issues to deal with, and I don't think we will outside of some of those isolated river valleys. A lot of us only got up into the upper 60s and low 70s today. 68 is where we should be for this time of year, by the way, and we're right about on target. As of right now, though, it's already dipping into the 40s in many spots, mid to upper 40s. In fact, out there, even look at Hazard at 46, Monticello and Jonesville at 45. So already chilly out there. It's a clean sweep on Pinpoint Dopplers, so just make sure you grab the heavy coat if you're headed out in the morning because it will be chilly. Just don't forget it because it'll be a nice day tomorrow, mostly clear overnight. We have more sunshine on the way for at least the next couple of days, and I'll have the details on that coming up in just a bit. Steve?
All right, thank you, Evan. Despite a drop in COVID-19 cases, Governor Beshear says Kentucky school districts should still keep their mask policies in place for now. He says taking them off would cause a spike in cases because so many students are not able to get vaccinated. As Chad Hedrick explains, teachers hope the policies stay in place a little while longer, while some parents say it's time to lift the requirement.
They're some of the lowest COVID-19 numbers we've seen in months, but Governor Beshear isn't ready to give the all clear yet and encourages school districts to keep their universal masking policies.
The first thing that would pop these numbers back up is if we came off universal masking in schools.
During his first COVID briefing in 2 weeks, Governor Beshear said masking in schools should still be enforced because so many students are not eligible for the vaccine. He also cited deaths among school faculty and staff.
We've lost 50 of them. I don't want to lose a 51st or a 52nd.
For quite a while, it was every night I wondered who would tomorrow's name be. And that's been very difficult.
Allison Sloan is a teacher in Rowan County. She says there have been a few issues with students wearing masks in school, but no major distractions. However, there are many parents calling for districts to lift the requirements, saying they are causing issues.
And it's also affecting children's growth and development in terms of language communication. And some of those things are going to be long-term situations.
Dawn Perkins with Let Them Play says the masks cause mental and educational delays. She hopes districts will listen to the communities when deciding to lift the mandates.
This is not going to get fixed with a one-man band. It has to be a community effort.
We're really fearful that letting those mask mandates drop will cause numbers to go back up again. And then we're starting all over from scratch.
In Frankfort, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
Governor Beshear says districts should wait until their county is at least in the yellow on the incidence rate map before lifting their mask policies. Now an update on a story we told you about earlier today. The Facebook page of one Southern Kentucky food bank is back after it was taken down by Facebook earlier. It's unclear still why it was removed. Officials with God's Food Pantry posted that the page was restored just before 5 p.m. A new children's resale and consignment shop will soon open in Corbin, but the inspiration behind the shop is heartwarming. The last few months were scary for Corbin native Ariane Peters and her family. All of her family, including herself, contracted COVID-19. Complications caused her to prematurely give birth to her son, Moses. Despite the scary encounter, she is looking forward to the future and will soon proudly open Noah and Moses in honor of her children.
Just to parents experiencing something similar to his story, it's okay to grieve. Don't feel guilty about that. That's a normal part of this process. Feel what you need to feel.
Peter says for updates on the shop, people can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. In rural areas, finding safe and fun activities for teens to do in their free time can be difficult, but one Eastern Kentucky library has based the entire month of October around providing fun and fall-oriented activities for teens to enjoy. The Johnson County Public Library is hosting Teen-tober, a month-long event dedicated to celebrating teens and providing crafts, competitions, and other fall-themed activities for teens to take part in. JCPL Teen Services librarian Shannon Reinthaler says it's been her main goal to provide a safe, welcoming, and fun environment for teens in the area.
If our children don't have something to do to spark their interest and to get involved in fun activities, good activities, you know, there's always the darker side. And I think Paintsville, Johnson County as a whole, has started doing several things recently that is good for our youth.
To learn more about Teen-tober and to see the full activity schedule for October, you can visit our website at WYMT.com. The Cumberland Gap Tunnel on US 25E near Middlesboro opened 25 years ago today. The tunnel replaced a highway so deadly it was nicknamed Massacre Mountain and accomplished the goal of saving lives with only 2 traffic-related deaths since construction was completed. More than just a safety improvement, officials at the Bell County Historical Society say the tunnel has preserved a historic pathway in our nation's history.
So you can actually walk from Cumberland Gap up to through the saddle of the Gap down and now to the National Park at Middlesboro where the Visitor Center is, or of course vice versa back down into Cumberland Gap.
The Bell County Historical Society has an exhibit to mark the tunnel's anniversary at their museum in Middlesboro. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a look at the Test to Stay program at some Eastern Kentucky schools and if it is keeping kids in class.
And unlike our last fall blast, this one looks to stick around for a while. I'll have the latest on how long the nice weather looks to stay coming up.
This